Yesterday, the High Court in Pietermaritzburg ruled that the results of the 8th provincial elective conference in KwaZulu-Natal held in 2015 were unlawful and invalid. Now, the case was brought by ANC councillor Lawrence Dube and 4 others in May last year that were unhappy with the outcome of the elective conference. So after yesterday's ruling, the ANC's KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Executive Committee said it considers approaching the Supreme Court of Appeal. So to talk more about this issue, we are joined from our SABC studios in Durban by Sihle Zikalala, who is the current ANC chair of the ANC PEC in KwaZulu-Natal. Sihle, thank you very, very much thank you very much for talking to us here on the program.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for having us on your program this morning.
So, what is your response to the ruling yesterday?
Well, thank you. The first thing is that as the ANC, we note the judgment and we respect the judgment as presented. But what is important for the ANC is to consider what are the implications of this judgment to the ANC and how do we respond comprehensively to it. Firstly, the first question, which is a primary question that all members of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, whether they are in leadership positions or just general members, it's why and how did the ANC ended up in court on these issues. Put it correctly, the case was the ANC versus the ANC. And that talks to the issue of unity in the ANC. Whether we were supposed to convene the conference at the time we had a conference or not, but the primary issue that faced the ANC at that time, which continues to face the ANC even now, is that of unity of the ANC and its structures. So as the provincial leadership, we are engaging with the national leadership on that issue of uniting the African National Congress and look on how we can use this space, including also the fact that there's been a judgment to consolidate unity of the African National Congress in KwaZulu-Natal. So that will be the primary focus of the PEC. But secondly, it's what are the implications of this? The main reason why the PEC or the provincial conference was said to be null and void is that it was convened early than it was expected. The court is saying the PEC should have concluded the 4-year term, or it should have sought the mandate from branches and get 30% of branches agreeing. Now, that is a profound implication, not only for the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, but for the ANC in general, because it implies that the PEC cannot decide on convening the conference except that it would have to request from branches if it want to have the conference.
Yeah.
In some cases, you find that conferences of the ANC will coincide with elections. Either it's a general elections or local government elections. Now, if you say in such situations the PEC or the regions can't have early conferences, you will then have an implication because the two will have to coincide and therefore you have to manage the two, which is very challenging. And it is based on that the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC is of a view of engaging with the national leadership to review the matter and take it to the Supreme Court of Appeal. Okay,
so let's have a look now at how it stands, because, I mean, if we look deeper into this, one would have to ask yourself, is the PEC in its current form valid after yesterday's ruling? Do you still see yourself as the chairperson?
The PEC have taken a view, one of launching the intent to appeal, and therefore it launched the intention to appeal. And that will then mean that the PEC is still in office. However, if the national leadership of the ANC would want to intervene in any different way than the view of the PEC, I believe we are free to engage with that. Yeah. I must also respond to that question by saying that the provincial leadership of the ANC is of a view that what will be the ultimate solution to this issue is to convene the provincial conference again. But in doing so, it must go through all processes, because the PEC and all structures of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, I believe, will not have a problem with convening a provincial conference at any time from now. But we need to follow due processes in doing that, but also take a cue and leadership from the higher structure, which is the National Executive Committee or the National Working Committee.
Yeah. Look, I think you touched on this, and this is what the biggest concern is, that we're seeing the ANC versus the ANC and massive divisions within the province of KwaZulu-Natal, which is exceptionally worrying. Now, one of the concerns, and let's just have a look at the ousted former chairperson and premier of the province, Senzo Mkuno. Basically, what he's saying is his concern is not his old position, but being given a fair opportunity to defend himself, since he was never given this opportunity. Would that be one of the issues for consideration to possibly bring back and bring about unity?
I think all members of the ANC should be given an opportunity to be listened and be engaged on all views they would want to raise, so that we will consolidate unity in the organization. It does not help the African National Congress to have its members bitter. We always characterize the ANC as the movement that keeps those who are inside happy and those who are outside the ANC attracted to get inside the ANC. And therefore, if there are members of the ANC who are not happy and who feel that they've not been listened to, the ANC has that responsibility to engage with them. And I believe even in this regard, at this time, we still have to engage with those issues.
So these are things that are still going to be discussed, and but I mean, when we look at discussions that are taking place, they may be taking place, but in the background there are so many political killings that are happening at the same time, and the volatility that's seen in the leadership is the volatility that's being seen in the streets and behind the scenes. I mean, the latest obviously is Sindiso Mataka's. We saw this killing. Now, what's been done to try and curb this, and do you think the situation is going to get worse after the ruling?
No, I don't believe that we should associate the two. The issue of the killings should be treated as criminality and be treated as crime and be confronted as such.
So you don't believe
because
they're political?
There is nothing that says if you differ anyhow, you should resolve to any other thing. There is processes in the ANC to deal with internal issues of the ANC. And therefore, issues of political killings must be confronted. And I believe that the Provincial Executive Committee, having met with the National Working Committee this Monday, will be dealing with this matter upfront and be working with the police to ensure that the issue of the killings is kept and addressed once and for all.
Yeah. So are you denying that these are political killings? You just think it is just crime? It's not politically related at all?
I will not want to rule out any possibility on this issue. But the ANC position is that killing of a person is a criminal act, and therefore it should be treated as such. And there is nothing that says members of the ANC, if they don't agree on anything, they should then kill each other. And that is why we are saying there must be thorough investigation. Perpetrators must be brought to books, and what is worrying is that there have been sustained killings and there is less arrest and prosecution, and that's why we've been engaging with the minister, and the minister is coming down to deal with to meet with the leadership, and we will be taking up all of these issues. We are to a certain extent seeing a move and a visibility now on the investigation, but we will want to see a situation being taken more serious, and we have raised some issues and suggestions with the national leadership.
I want to take a very quick break. We will be back to continue this discussion. There's much more to talk about. So please stay with us. If you'd like to email us and comment on this conversation and the ruling yesterday, please do at Morning Live SABC, and we welcome your comments. Stay tuned.